Hey, this is Jill Simonello with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today we are in very sunny and hot Arizona checking out the 2022 Lexus NX, and this is a really cool vehicle. It's all new for the 2022 model year, and since we've already done a walk around of this vehicle previously, I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing what's new and what's different, but what I want to do in this review is I want to talk about the cool features and go a little bit in depth there because there's so much to unpack. Then I'm going to do a little bit of a product demonstration with the new Lexus interface system because I think people are going to be really curious about that. So I've got a product expert, we're going to have a conversation with her, and we're going to talk about that system and dig in a little bit. And finally, I will close out with some driving impressions. But you're in for a really nice treat here because this is really cool. So let's take a closer look right now. Now, before we get to all that cool stuff that I want to talk about, I do want to spend a hot minute talking about this vehicle specifically because this is an F-Sport model, and it's going to have a couple of differentiators over the other vehicles in the NX lineup. And the first thing you're going to notice is the grille is different. It has a different pattern that kind of interlocks, and it's black and it has a black surround. Then as you move around the vehicle, you're going to notice more black accents. So the grille moving to the wheels, you see the black accents around the window, and you see the black mirror caps. Another big differentiator obviously is going to be this single F-Sport badge. But just wanted to point that out really quick, that this is an F-Sport model and that is how you will tell this from the other NXs. All right, now it is time to get into that cool stuff. And there is so much to unpack here. I'm just gonna start here and then I'm gonna move my way this way. So the first thing I wanna talk about are these steering wheel controls. So the steering wheel is all new in this 2022 NX, and these controls are more capacitive than actual physical buttons. So I just slide my finger over this and it will pop up in the head-up display what that is trying to control. And it's the same on the other side. So you've got your volume functions over here, you've got your adaptive cruise control functions over here, and then you can kind of switch between things as well by pressing this button here in terms of what you're showing. So you press the button, you've got mode, audio, you press the button again and you can answer a phone call or make a voice command. Over here, you then have your adaptive cruise control and cruise control. This display is also new and it is completely digital, looks really good. I think they've done a nice job with the design. It still has the reminiscent of the old analog gauge with the red around the edges, and I think that looks really cool. But when you come over here, you've got more functionality. So this is the new Lexus 14-inch screen. This is the up-level screen. It is available. So the standard screen is going to be the 9.8-inch screen, but it's going to have all the same functionality that this 14-inch screen has, but it's just bigger. So we're going to do more of an in-depth look at this a little bit later, but I'm just going to show you some basic functionality now. And that is going to include that it is very capacitive and very easy to touch, and everything operates really easily in the way that you want it to do. The processing is very quick, and it has wireless Apple CarPlay, which I also think is really cool. And once you are in Apple CarPlay, again, everything swipes really easily. It works very well. And apparently turns on your audio, which we don't want. Maybe turn that down a little bit in case it accidentally turns on again. But it works really well, and I think that they've done a good job here, because a lot of times you have systems that are laggy and you swipe and then it's like, but this is instantaneous and it works really well. You have your climate functionality here as well, so anything from your air vents to your heated and cooled seats to the actual controls for the temperature settings. But you can also control most of this through voice settings, and again, we're going to go into that a little bit more in depth later, but right now I'm just going to say, hey Lexus, I'm cold. And it automatically makes my temperature of my seat a little bit warmer. So that's also nice. I will also point out that you have the wireless charging as well as a USB-A and a USB-C charge port, and that is both in the front and in the back. And the final cool thing that I want to talk about is this right here. Now, you look at it and it's a mere It works the way a mirror should work in that you see out the back window. But if you have stuff that's blocking your view, you can just flip this forward and it turns into a digital display. And you will be able to see what's behind you without obstruction. And that's pretty cool. So now let's go take a closer look at the Lexus interface system. Now we are in the Lexus interface simulator, and we're going to check out the thing that I think is probably the coolest on the NX, and that is the new Lexus interface multimedia system. And we are here with Chris, who's going to show us the ins and outs of this system. All right, so what do you want to show us?
So I first want to start off with this beautiful 14-inch premium multimedia display. The navigation map is cloud-based, quick, easy zoom, pan, tilt. So you've got all these really cool features in the map. Yeah.
So it's kind of like your cell phone.
Absolutely. So you do have the optically bonded display. What that does mean is we have the glass right on top of the display. All of the pixels come through and it allows you to interact with the map very, very simplistically.
And does it help with glare too? Because I know that's going to be a big question people ask.
Yes.
Is the glare?
Yes. Yes. That does improve glare on the vehicle itself.
Okay. So there are some really cool features in here. We were talking a little bit earlier offline, and you were showing me some of the phone connectivity and the navigation and the yeah. I mean, I was going to talk about this earlier in the video, and I was like, nope. I'm waiting for Chris because you've got all the cool stuff. So.
All right. Well, let me show you some of those cool things that we can do, especially with the phone connectivity and the navigation and the Lexus Interface Intelligent Assistant.
Okay.
Hey, Lexus.
What would you like to do?
Take us to Biltmore.
I found 15
So let's say you and I are on our way to lunch at the Biltmore and pull it up. Yes, the cool thing about this is I can actually share my ETA directly with you by selecting share. You can pull up the contacts from the connected phone itself, select who you want to share with, and there it goes. Lets you know what your arrival time is, the address, location, and that's exactly what the text message is that sends out to your contact.
Now, how accurate is that time frame? Because people always talk about, well, I always use Waze because Waze is accurate with the time. So.
Well, we do work with Google POIs, and we all know who the best in the business is.
Well, and we also know who owns Waze.
Exactly.
That would be Google.
That would be Google.
No, I love this feature. So, this is a really good reason to use the actual navigation system that you come up with in the car, and it shares the information. And you were talking about this save button too.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that, because that's also cool.
This save thing is super, super convenient. So let's say that is our favorite place to go lunch. We're in from out of town. You can save it as a favorite. You can store up to 20 favorite locations into the multimedia system. You can control them from inside the Lexus app as well. You can send these locations in and out. Again, like I showed you just how to share the ETA with your friends if you're headed out to the same place.
But the really cool thing I think about this is then it goes to your app as well.
Yes. So you can see it in your app. You can save a home address. You can save a work address. You can store 20 favorite locations. You can search for them on your phone and actually send it to your navigation system before you even get in the car.
And that's going to be really helpful. Like if you're in a hurry, you're like brushing your teeth, and you're sending the navigation to your car, and then you hop in and you don't have to set anything, you just go.
Yeah.
So in addition to location, what are some of the other voice commands that you can use in?
Oh, inside the vehicle. Yeah. Lots and lots of voice commands. So we did put a lot of heart, sweat, and tears into our voice command system. Our assistant comes standard across Lexus interface vehicles. You can work simple things like your HVAC, a lot of controls, your windshield wipers, basic controls.
Wait, windshield wipers?
Windshield wipers, yeah.
Okay,
not only that, but you want to get fancy, you can adjust your ambient lighting in the vehicle.
Oh.
I know,
Okay.
super fancy. But things like that are all standard across Lexus interface.
Okay.
Now, subscription-based intelligent assistant goes a step further. It expands not only what you get with Assistant, but now you're getting into cloud-based information. So it interacts with your navigation system, your music, yes, Apple and Amazon Music. A lot of cool stuff with what you can do with the intelligent assistant. 4 wake-up phrases. Hi, hey, hello, and okay, Lexus will trigger the intelligent assistant. As you can see, she thinks we're talking to her. We're really really focused on natural language understanding, so however you want to say it.
Okay. Now, one of the other really interesting features here is something that you guys are calling the user profile.
Yes, one of my favorite things. So the user profile, and I'll jump into settings just to kind of show you. The user profile is you. It's your settings, it's your preferences. What's the first thing that you do when you jump into a vehicle? You set your seat.
I move my seat all the way forward. That's exactly what I do, and all the way up.
Yes, so you set your seat settings. Next thing you do, you kind of tinker with the radio. Preferences and settings like that store with your user profile and carry with you from vehicle to vehicle, all with the interface capabilities.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is I can push my seat all the way far forward, all the way up. I can put my, top hits, pop 40 music on here, and get my, set my seat to, 80 degrees and my temperature to 80 degrees, and it'll remember that. And then when my husband gets in with his cell phone, because the user profile is set to your cell phone, when my husband gets in, it will undo all of that, and he will have like 69 degrees, cooled seat, his stupid classic rock stuff, and the seat will be moved all the way back.
Yes, but the beauty of that is the second you step back into the car, it readjusts as if no one else was in your vehicle.
Now that's going to be added to my marriage saver list. Along with dual climate controls.
Yes, lots of cool stuff. Again, the user profile, you don't have to have a vehicle to have the user profile. It's your Lexus app.
Okay. Okay. So, did we miss anything? Is there anything else that we need to talk about with this?
You know what? Dual Bluetooth.
Oh.
The coolest thing ever. So, if you're like me, I know a lot of people have a couple of phones, right? Corporate phone, personal phone. You have teenagers, lots of phones.
Yes.
You can connect two Bluetooth devices at the same time simultaneously. You can even set one as a primary device, so this is the one that interacts with your phone and text messaging, but you're never gonna miss your call from your boss because your second phone is still connected.
So you can answer two phone calls from two different phones?
Yes. Huh. Well, maybe not at the same time.
No.
But yes, absolutely. It'll show up on your head unit.
That is really cool. Now? Okay, so let's wrap this up, but I want you to tell me what your absolute favorite thing about this interface is.
Oh, my absolute favorite thing, I have to say it's the music. It really is the music. So, I don't know about you, but I sometimes when I'm running out to the grocery store, I forget my phone at home, and of course what I do, I'm like, dang, my music, I don't have my music with me. Your music can actually tie in, like your Apple and Amazon music ties into your Lexus app, and it works with your user profile, right? So now I have my music, I don't need my phone anymore. It's not tethered, it's not plugged in, I don't have to fuss with cords. It's all native to the head unit itself. So we can play our favorite music. Hey Lexus. Hi Lexus.
How can I help you?
Play No Doubt.
Okay, here's some music by No Doubt.
And that's not even from my phone.
That's really cool. So just as an editor's note, we have the sound down because YouTube doesn't like us to play music. But you can clearly see running, hey, appropriate song for me because I'm a runner. Running by No Doubt is on there.
I bet you have a workout playlist.
I do.
You can even add your songs to your workout playlist, create stations. You can add it via voice. Say, hey, add this to my workout playlist, and it'll add it to your playlist. Again, no phone required.
Okay, that is really cool.
Have I showed you the pin drop feature?
No? Oh, we got one more cool feature, pin
One
drop.
more cool, okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I love, love, love our navigation system. The beauty about our navigation system is your phone stops working when you get into certain points in the mountains, especially when you're out here. When you're on a longer route, you don't have to worry about missing your turn. Your routes still work, your map is still running even if you don't have connection. But let's say I wanna go to a very specific place, touch and hold, and what do we get? We get a point of interest that'll come right up.
And then it'll direct you right there?
And it'll direct you right there. Alternate routes, again, still share it, save it as a favorite, directions, and even if we scroll down just a little, there's your alternative routes.
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is this is the coolest multimedia system that exists.
Yep, I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing it with us.
Absolutely.
All right, we talked about the cool stuff on the Lexus NX, so we gotta touch on some of the practical stuff. And that includes pricing. So I just want to generally talk about pricing because the base price is going to be around $39,000, and that's for the base NX 250, which has the base 2.5 liter engine. So that'll deliver about 203 horsepower. And you're going to go up to the top tier trim, or the top tier package, or the top tier level is going to be the NX 450H Plus, and that is the plug-in hybrid. And to start with that, you're looking at about $57,000. All right, so that will deliver 302 horsepower and give you a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of 6 seconds, which coincidentally and weirdly is less than the Toyota Prius Prime by about 0.5 seconds. So, all right, driving impressions. I've managed to drive every vehicle they had. So the NX 350, the NX 350H, which is the hybrid, and then this is the NX 450H Plus. They did not have any of the 250s on hand, so I can't tell you about that. But I can tell you that every other vehicle is pretty nice. When I was posting pictures on social media, people were asking me if the 350 had turbo lag because that has the turbocharged engine. And no, I did not experience any turbo lag. It was pretty smooth and peppy and, a little bit louder than either the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid, but it did really well. And I did the same road with all three vehicles, and it was a lot of twisty bits and a little bit of up, a little bit of down, and I thought it handled it really well. But of course, you're going to get more horsepower in the hybrid, and that does better. Plus, you're going to get better fuel economy. And then this is my favorite. I really, really, really like this plug-in hybrid. In addition to being very quiet, it is just sporty and peppy in all of the right places. So I really like the Toyota Prius Prime, and this is better than that. So, and why is it better? Because it's smoother, it's quieter. I mean, yeah, okay, 0.5 seconds different, but this is smoother, quieter, and it just generally feels more solid and better. Built on the same platform, yes. Built in parallel, yes, but doesn't really share much with the RAV4 because it's much more refined, and you can feel that not only in how it looks but also how it drives. What else should I tell you? I love that Lexus interface. In case that you missed it when I was talking with Chris, I think the features on this vehicle are amazing. I think they knocked it out of the park, and yeah, I'm probably starting to gush now because frankly I can't find anything that I didn't like about it. All right, that's it. That's all I've got. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check us out on the web at pickuptrucktalk.com. Otherwise, I will see you down the road.